I was like, I gotta do that to anybody would be insane, but have to do it to Christopher Plummer.
Welcome here. We're so happy to have you and part of TIFF. And I just have to ask you, Norris, how do you hook up with Atom Egoyan?
Man, I tell you, we met about a year ago. We were in Rome doing separate things, happened to get to dinner together, and just chit-chatted for, just hours of, had a few cocktails, and talked film and culture, and I was always been a big fan of his for a long time. He happened to like Breaking Bad, which was nice. Yeah. And then a year later, get a phone call, said, hey man, come do this movie. So
amazing. And then you read the script, and this is a character, I mean, you're not in it for a long time, but it's a very memorable performance and character. And he's a guy who goes from kind of one extreme to another.
Yeah.
How do you kind of, as an actor, do that?
Well, the hard part, or the role that we the part of the role that we kind of prepared for was the early part of the stuff, trying to find the humanity in this character, and he's a sad, broken alcoholic, twice divorced, doesn't have his dad, misses his dad, and that's the kind of, we filmed all that element for a good week, and then the other part of the scene, which is a little more intense, there was really no way to kind of prepare for it. It was at some point I talked to Adam, and he said, we just had the cameras going. We stuck mostly to the script. We got the gist of it, but it was a matter of just kind of temporary insanity, really, to be honest with you. It was just kind of losing your mind and just letting it go out there, and what happened. Yeah. And we did it a few times, and that was it.
And hello, head to head with Christopher Plummer.
Well, that was the thing, I was like, I gotta do that to anybody would be insane, but have to do it to Christopher Plummer.
Captain Von Trapp, my friend. Come on.
I know. He was a daunting presence when I first arrived, and he was so comforting and nice and sweet. And we had allowed, Adam and I had allowed for him maybe not being there for some of the more intense physical elements, but he would have none of it. He was there. He wanted to be there. And I was like, I hope we don't hurt him.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Do you ever get intimidated still by any?
Well, I don't know about intimidated. I think I give proper reverence to. So it was just thrilling to get to meet, as an actor and as a person who loves acting, to get a chance to meet somebody who is one of the greatest actors, alive was thrilling.
Yeah, and you didn't get to work with Martin Landau, but just, And
I got to meet him, talk to him a lot during this filming and even today, and I was like, how could you not just sit there and absorb all you can from these guys,
Yeah,
great.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you that. Do you still, every time that you're on a set now, or you do a movie or a TV show or whatever it is, are you still learning from the people that you work with?
Yeah, man. I think I try, and I think I get better every single job, good job or bad job. But in particular with some guy like Christopher Plummer, I would sit there at times and think, God, I'm looking in, I'm doing a scene, I'm looking into the eyes of a guy who's done scenes in movies and fantastic stuff for decades, and all of that is there, and I kind of hope that some of it kind of seeps into my DNA or something, and so it's great.
Amazing.
It's fun times.
How do you know, Dean, when you're working on something special? When you were working on something like, say, Breaking Bad, and the fans and people still probably come up to you for that and everything, even though I know you've done other stuff, obviously. But how do you know you're on a set and you're like, yeah, this is good? Yeah,
you know that it's good, but you don't always know that it's gonna resonate. We all thought when we read the pilot of Breaking Bad that it was fantastic, and we knew the scenes themselves felt good. You felt like you're in the moment, but you never know if something's going to resonate. You just don't.
Sure.
So it's always rewarding when it does.
Yeah, I can imagine. Did you bump into Brian today?
Oh yeah, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, oh my God, I saw the Trumbo on the thing, and I said I got to go in there. So I waited. And I interrupted his TV interviews.
Darn, I wish it would have been mine. I tweeted out today, it's my Breaking Bad reunion day. This is so awesome.
Oh, it was so good. He's obviously just so fantastic, and he was kind of like a dad on the show, for the show, So anytime I get to see, which is usually at the times I get to see him are things like this, because everyone's always off doing their own thing,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
It was great to see him.
And then you take a character like an Under the Dome, which listen, congratulations, 3 seasons is good for a show, congratulations on it. I watched every one, and honestly though, Big Jim Rennie, holy crap, you go from somebody like Hank, who's a pretty nice guy, and then then you go to this asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, is it more fun to play the bad? He pretty much, I'm sorry, he was. He scared the crap out of me. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Yes, he had some reasons for doing things.
Yes.
At the end of the day, he was a jerk.
Yeah.
But anyway, but to play the baddie, is it more fun?
It's a lot of fun to play the baddie. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. I had a blast doing that. So.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Well, you know, what to you makes a good story?
You know, just that it's it's hard. That's a good question, actually. You know, just that it's truthful in a way that you don't expect it to be truthful. You know, what I always said about Breaking Bad when it happened is like something shocking would happen, and then like just as that shocking thing happened, you said to yourself, "Oh, but of course." So to find a new way to tell a story, a new way to shock somebody, but doesn't seem fake or manipulated. Yeah. I think that's how you is certainly the essence of a good story.
Yeah. What's next?
I got a movie that's coming out called Secrets in Their Eyes, and I'm going to start doing in about 2 more weeks. Going to start a comedy with Ice Cube and Charlie Day called Fist Fight.
Charlie Day, oh my God! You better be able to learn how to suppress the laughter.
Yeah, oh man, I can't wait. So it's going to be fun to do a comedy.
That'll be. Oh yeah, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. You know, you're great as an ass, but I like when you're nice
too.
Be
a funny ass.
Yeah, a funny ass is good. I love it. Dean, thank you so much for your time. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you, and thank you. You did a great job in this movie, and come back to Toronto anytime. You're always welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Fabulous.